Good evening. This is McCarra-Poetry, reading on the 12th of October, 2012. Thank you very much for joining me. Self-made man. Be still and know that you are loved unlike any other. The trees, joining branches over the road, make a canopy of green leaves for her to walk beneath. Detritus placed out on the curb for the trash man. Wednesday is collection day. Black bags bulging, larval, in them oddments, an alphabet soup of letters, some errant organs still wrapped in sterile plastic, a kidney here, a heart there, 2 eyes, the better to see you with, my dear, as the old wolf said. She assembles a whole in half the time it takes her to walk to Bronxville. The original reconstituted man, add water and stir briskly, with your smile lipsticked on, expert so at making something from nothing. Looping great strands of DNA around her fingers, fashioning this self-made man, the codes catching in her nails. She'll teach him to talk, too, a word at a time, till they totter in a Tower of Babel together, embracing his newness in her arms, him slick against her in an August thunderstorm. Fleshy, this man of remnants, who, newborn, looks upon her pale-eyed, learns love like an old repetition of sums sung out from a window. Scarecrows. They crop up this time of year on lawns untroubled by tubers or the like, pale vestiges of their former workaday selves, clad in old clothes and caps to scare off the crows. Now the mass-produced grins mirror each other, staked in similar clipped suburban lawns, reduced to the decorative, the false pleat, the row of buttons designed to catch the eye. Crows are nonplussed by such fellows. Store-bought, their tags still attached as they are staked into the ground, a xerographic 6th-generation copy of their sterner cousins, trousers cut to ribbons in the wind, their aspect fearsome, clad as they were in the clothes of the dead, the tattered remnants of a Sunday suit, worn shiny, cuffs and collar frayed. And crows and candy-gorging goblins alike pass them by, unseeing, unafraid. Halfway to 90. Halfway to 90 and gray-haired dotage, the infants born with indignant screams, flailing their arms into hers, pillar of salt dissolved into a river, soaking the scrubs of the doctor down to the soles of his shoes. Silver threaded through brown, the tapestry woven and rewoven whilst the ghosts of suitors wait in the anteroom. They are as air, no burden upon the household. And where from here? The road, though straight, crops up uneven, stubborn patches creased and cracked, though her soul, has adapted to it all, ripping the bandages off at intervals, ruthless, relentless, without a word. A room perhaps of quiet, where burnished gold afternoon turns into slate blue evening, the birdsong singing her, finally, to sleep. Nil by mouth. Long night of watchful waiting, culminating in a broken sleep, the rubies and emeralds not falling from her mouth tonight, but frogs, croaking away in complaint, a shadow of a shadow slinking past the window, measuring out the medicine with an uncertain hand, tongue-tied, blunted so that the words do not come, perched hesitant as a bird on the wire, watching tiny breaths go in and out, in, out, in, out. The day after the night of the long knives. Standing on the platform at mid-century, we check the timetables, Gauge the weather. Let coins slip between our fingers so that they make their small music. Glance at gray paving stones, dew-damped. Purchase a morning paper, pull our coats a little closer. Riot of birdsong heard from beyond the hedges. This dawn chorus serenade, a substitute for talk. As the sun, sluggard, finally rises, after the night of the long knives, the daggers across the dining room table, laid with the company cloth, worked through with cobwebbed lace, a word catching here, there, and stopping, black as oil upon new snow, the letters leering back, fat and satiated in the fullness of their meaning. Counting the clutch of eggs, the fragile nest still holds 10, and she considers these speckled harbingers of new life, one for each year of their union, the several spilt yolks, that unhappy end closing off song, the slammed door of final punctuation to the end of a sentence, to the many paragraphs hanging there, unwritten, unspoken, not even whispered, while she writes out the weather report for the Christmas cards. To the train. Boarding so the scene changes, bound for parts unknown, their passports stamped in purpled ink. Portraits of the countryside race, shutter fast, season changing from winter to spring. That hope pushing through soil to see the sun, crowning through rock to burst, bright yellow, as the key on his watch chain, the envelope in her pocketbook, as the sun that writes words in slow-moving script on the walls of the carriage. Yes, we, too, propelled thus into the next half-century, still together. Our new resolution, too, over morning coffee, to throw off those old sins of omission and bravely face our world of words without end, and taking up our luggage, no porters being available, and descend, unafraid, into a foreign land, grasping at the slivers of hope we grant ourselves, sharp as needles, diamond bright, stone hard. Dream of America. I dream of America and all those neon nights of flashing ATMs and off-duty taxis speeding past us. Meanwhile, we seek freedom from want and fear, to worship as we please or not at all, and to write our own story. Amidst those acres of corn and soybeans stretching as far as the eye can see, scratching it out on sidewalks, chalking it down on the playgrounds, scripting it down on the sloping driveways as the sun falls and the fireflies blink out their Morse code. Into the inky black preceding silvery dawn, and another day heat-scorched. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you'll join me again soon. And in the meantime, please do check out my blog, McCarra-Poetry. Thank you very much, and good night.